which I gotta check out now.
Definitely gonna check out. I'm gonna check out Runaways for sure.
It's very cute. It's an endearing show.
Looking forward to it. And now we're getting to the last segment of the show. We're gonna wrap things up soon, but not before we touch on something that I hold close to heart.
And I'm excited to talk about this because I love how much you know about this.
And the audience went berserk for this.
That was a long IRL that we went on for. That was almost 3 hours long that we were able to do a show on it.
There's so much to cover.
It's very in depth. Runaway of Marvel. Janie asks, Marvel's Runaways.
Marvel's Runaways.
I can link a whole bunch of stuff to our Twitter after this, and I'll put it in the Slack chat as well.
Follow
DC
us on,
or Marvel?
Yeah, follow us on social media at BeTerrific TV on Twitter.
On Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe, and please turn on your notifications because we like to go rogue and off schedule and do IRLs all the time, so you never miss an interview or an IRL stream.
We are a spontaneous bunch.
We are.
We are. But we were going to go into cryptocurrencies.
Cryptocurrencies,
Now,
the gold rush of the new century.
The gold rush of the new century, in our opinions. Of course, none of us are advisors here, financial advisors, but
we're just curious parties.
We're curious parties, and we're people that, at least in my part, I'm into it, I'm invested into it. But I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their money or what to invest in. I can only tell you what I've done. I'm very heavy into Ethereum. That's holding steady. Today's been not even today. 2018 has been a shaky time for the cryptocurrency market, especially Bitcoin. We saw at the end of 2017 the price go up as high as 20,000.
Wow.
It's all-time high. But right now it's currently sitting around 8,900. If I check right now, I mean, it fluctuates often. Yeah, it's 8,900 right now. 8,973 to be exact, according to Coinbase. I think in part a lot of that is due to a little bit of a smear campaign. I think that a lot of the fiat currency holders, a lot of the central banks are worried about what they could lose if this goes mainstream.
Right.
Because, I mean, honestly, to quote Ronnie Most, who's a top 5 financial analyst, we're in the second inning of a 9-inning game here.
Yeah.
So it's still early. So it hasn't gone extremely all the way mainstream yet. So I think it's a lot of fear of that.
Right.
And so due to that, you get articles from guys like Paul Krugman. You're getting comments from guys like Jamie Dimon about how it's a bubble and how it's going to bust. And I think that hearing that, getting that kind of information from people who are supposed to be experts in the field, makes them a little bit fearful.
Makes them more wary of it.
You know? So that's why we're getting such a huge sell-off, at least on Bitcoin.
Plus, I feel like now with the added regulations that are starting to pop up around the world, South Korea recently adding regulations and laws and announcing those earlier this week.
Yes.
I can't imagine that that's helping people's attitudes about investing or day trading when it comes to cryptocurrencies.
Yes, I agree with you. I think that all of those news, and just, everything that's been put out there is scaring people a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's prompting, the currency to kind of be at a low. And actually, they went through a chart for the past 3 years. January has not been a great month for Bitcoin and crypto in particular.
Interesting.
It always starts off the year slow before picking back up. But with all of that said, I'm gonna hodl. That's the term that us cryptocurrency guys like to use.
We gotta give you your own vocab dictionary that we need to post.
Yes, hodl. I think I'm gonna hodl, and I think that the currency is definitely gonna bounce back up. I think that it can't be broken. I think it's gonna do well, in my opinion, based on what I've learned about it and the research I've put into it.
Well, coming from, I have a retail and e-commerce background, and coming from that world, January has always been a slow month anyway. People are still recovering from the holidays on a consumer level. Companies are seeing what they did for the year before in Q4 and everything, and reevaluating their budgets for the coming year and seeing what they could do in Q1 before they go all the way to Q4 and start into holidays all over again. So it's not really surprising to me to see that prices would be down now, interest would be down right now. People are broke in January.
People are broke in January. I mean, coming off of Christmas, the holiday season, where you probably spend a ton on gifts.
Right.
So it's not.
And then in February, the first biggest thing that we really have to worry about holiday-wise in the United States is Valentine's Day. So I don't know if people go broke on that. Is that something that you guys do? How are you guys celebrating Valentine's Day? Now that I've brought it up, I'm just curious.
Yeah, definitely. see how people go about their spending habits in that time. But it's a spending time. It's a time to
Right.
come out of pocket. So people aren't a little reluctant right now, and I think that kind of affects the prices. But with all of that said, I think it's going to be a tremendous year for crypto. They're getting adoption by Cash App, Robinhood.
Yeah.
Some of the major exchanges in Asia are
Right.
starting to accept it and trade with it. We had the futures come out earlier in the year.
Regulations are starting to be established
For some of them, yes.
to help avoid scam currencies that exist.
Absolutely.
And I also feel like I'm not invested in any of these things. And I've heard of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies before, but I feel like in the last 6 months is when it became huge in the United States. It just blew up. And
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's a reflection of societal climate or what's going on. All I know is that I can't stop hearing about cryptocurrencies everywhere I look.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything, you know? But, I believe in Ethereum.
Hello, CJ in Texas.
CJ, what's going on?
How are you?
I think Ethereum to me is my favorite one, just because, currency, the problem with currency is that it's subject to regulation by
Right.
the governments and influenced by the central banks. But the thing with Ethereum is that it's more so of a programmable design. It's more than just currency. You can use it for smart contracts. There's this craze called CryptoKitties, where
CryptoKitties?
pretty much it's a digital kitty that you get as a baby kitten. It's digital, that you're able to grow and nurture. And it's your own breed of cat. It's
I
a
want
special
one.
breed. So, and you can grow, you're literally nurturing this thing till growth. Almost kind of like the whole, what was that, Beanie Babies? What was that?
Beanie Babies. Talk about a bubble bursting.
Yeah, it was kind of that craze. But in the
Anybody lose money on the Beanie Babies craze? Please let us know.
Let us know. So I think that's cool, and I think this has a lot of wide applications.
I do want to address one thing that was said in chat a little bit earlier. We were asked, Star Wars or Star Trek by Janny? For me, Star Wars, but that being said, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Star Trek as a franchise. It changed the world.
I just saw the last Star Wars movie, and the ones prior to that I liked. And Rory, forgive me. Don't hold it against me. I think I'm gonna go Star Trek. I like the last 2 Star Trek movies. I was not disappointed in them at all.
You know, it's funny. Me and Rory's anniversary is May 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
I always say you guys were meant to be. If anybody who spends enough time around you guys are kindred spirits. Absolutely.
I'm so okay with that.
You know?
But he's invested in cryptocurrencies now too. And last I spoke to him about it, I think he only invested like $100. He made $15 on it. I'm like, you've already made 15% on your investment. Is that normal in cryptocurrency?
I think now's the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time to get in there for tremendous growth. And I think Rory actually picked the right currency. And nobody even had to.
What did he pick? Do you remember? I think Ethereum.
I think he picked Ethereum. I also like Litecoin a little bit, but I'm small. I have a small investment in that. I think he did too as well. But I think that Ethereum has definitely been treating us well so far, and I think it's going to continue to do so.
So I'm a little naive when it comes to cryptocurrencies and where they come from and who's creating them. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on that? Not just for me, but for the terrifics who don't necessarily understand.
Oh, definitely. Well, with Bitcoin, in Bitcoin's case, there's a set amount of Bitcoins that are out there that miners, which are guys who pretty much put together these computers that are set to solve these very complicated math problems. Mm-hmm. And every time you solve a math problem, you're rewarded a chain of tokens in Bitcoin. So the computer has to mine by solving these problems, and then they're given these tokens.
See, I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing the computer plays Sudoku for a few hours.
Okay. You can translate in many different ways, but that's one of them. So pretty much it's released. I think the last, don't quote me on this, I think the last Bitcoin should be released. I think it's set for 2070 or something, way out there.
Right.
But pretty much it's a limited supply. It's not something that can be produced further on. And the case for the other cryptocurrencies is the same thing. They have certain amounts that you mine, and that's the case. But there are others that, that have...
They're endless.
They're endless, that continue to go on. So everybody has their set way about going about them. But, this is just such an exciting time. Adam actually sent me an article about an 18-year-old. I think he's 18 now. But at the age of 16, I think he's a millionaire now at this point. He made a bet with his parents.
Yes, I heard about this kid. I didn't read the article, but I'm so glad you're bringing it up.
Yes, I think he took $100 that his grandmother gave to him, and he invested it in Bitcoin at the time. And I think it quickly became $100,000. And he made a bet with his parents, I think, at the age of 15, that, hey, if I'm not a millionaire by the age of 18, I'll go to college.
Wow.
But if not, and by the way, you should definitely go ahead and pursue your education. College is a great experience. I enjoyed mine. There's a lot that you can gain from that, so we're not trying to discourage anybody from furthering their education.
But if you're a millionaire, maybe you could take a year or two off before going.
And so he became a millionaire, and he's saying that if you're not a millionaire in this day and age, then it's nobody's fault but your own, because this right now is the opportunity
this is where you become
everybody to become wealthy in some way.
That's so crazy.
That's so crazy. I
Good
mean,
for him, though, for being able to see what was coming and play with it and do something with it.
Absolutely.
Well done, kid. Well done.
I kind of agree with him, but hey, that's my personal opinion. But that's my cryptocurrency news.
Well, CJ in Texas brings up a really good point that video cards right now are at stupid prices again because of this. So Rory and I were actually talking about this in terms of NVIDIA, which is a company that makes really awesome graphics cards. I personally have an NVIDIA card in my rig at home. They are back ordered at the moment because people are building mining computers specifically for cryptocurrencies now in the United States, which is the hardware companies did not anticipate this kind of growth and were not prepared for it and have not produced enough product for it otherwise.
I want to jump in on that back order comment. As of about a week and a half ago, everything's in stock again.
Nice. Okay. NVIDIA's in stock again, everybody.
Leveled out.
Oh, good.
They're about normal.
Okay.
Yeah. So for like a 1080 Ti, which is like one of the higher end graphics cards, you're going to pay around.
What do I have?
$1,200. I think you have a 750 Ti.
There you go. So CJ in Texas, I have a 750.
So you said
we're going to upgrade that.
So a 1080 Ti goes for about how much?
About around 1,200.
1080 Ti goes for about 1,200.
You could, I mean, they were getting up to like 16, sometimes higher when the shortage was there, but they've dropped down again.
They've evened out.
They've
evened out.
But you would need more than one to really mine efficiently, right? You would need 6.
You need 6 graphics cards.
Right now, Newegg has a bundle on the 1080, a 6-pack bundle for just under $7,000.
Oh, so a 6-pack bundle of the 1080 for
on Newegg
because they're marketing it right to miners.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you're a stock market guy, I guess that's the stock to buy right now.
Yeah, the stock to buy right now would probably be.
If you were a stock market guy, I personally, if I was, I would probably look into that. Not to advise anybody else to.
I mean, I think,
investigate the trends.
If you guys look up, Motley Fools has it as a buy right now.
Okay. Yeah, definitely seems like the thing to do. But I'm feeling good right now. Although the prices are down on Bitcoin, although the prices are down on Litecoin and a lot of the other cryptocurrencies, Ethereum holding it steady, I feel good about the future of this thing, and I'm looking forward to continuing to see it grow.
See, all the talk between you and Adam and Rory about this is getting me so into it, and I really want to start investigating and see if I can personally invest in cryptocurrencies. I think I'm ready. I think like next paycheck, maybe the time to do it. Just pull some out, go for it.
That might be an IRL thing right there,
Oh God, another IRL of cryptos.
We tried to do it with Michael, but he gave in a little too quick.
He still hasn't turned his credit cards back on.
Oh my goodness.
So for those of you that missed it, we did an IRL for a few hours last week, the week before, something like that. You could see the video in our VODs. Michael attempted to buy about $100 worth of cryptocurrency, and he couldn't do it. Every single one of his banks and credit cards ended up locking him out and refusing to allow him to purchase it. And we were discussing how one of the issues in purchasing and investing in cryptocurrencies is that banks do not necessarily encourage that kind of purchasing because it gives the consumer the ability to become their own bank. They no longer need to go through the regulated channels. They no longer need to use banks. And frankly, I think that's something banks need to seriously consider because, I mean, banks make billions upon billions of dollars each year on overdraft fees. Off of charging people for being too broke to fill up their accounts. So if they continue with that kind of policy and those kinds of attitudes towards consumers, especially in an environment where, the average American is making less and less money than ever before every year, and the middle class is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, we have to look for new opportunities when it comes to finances.
Absolutely.
So if banks don't jump on board with us, and then it's going to be a problem. And I think we're going to see a clash between consumer and lawmaker sooner rather than later in terms of regulation of cryptocurrencies in the United States because of it.
Absolutely. I think that they're doing everything possible to kind of discourage people from going into it. But I think that this is this generation's way of declaring independence from that. You know, it's just simple things like transferring money from a PayPal account, for instance, or from any type of account can sometimes take days.
Yes.
And I found out during that portion of time while you're waiting for that money to be transferred over, it's actually waiting in the bank collecting interest.
Yes.
So they're making interest on your money. That's that's why it's taking the
So,
delay.
you know, screw you if you need the transfer
Yes.
and you actually need the money that's, you know, you're asking for from your own account.
Yes. Pretty much. We're just going to make this money off of your money, and then we'll get it.
Just going to make money for a week and then you can have it.
In the case of crypto, I can go ahead and send that right
And it's
away,
there.
and I don't have to deal with the middleman. It's decentralized. We are all in power. It
Right.
empowers everyone.
It's a consumer empowerment that
You
I
know,
feel like.
I think that's awesome. I think that's the way that we're headed, and I can't wait till we actually like see this thing come to like full blown. You know.
I think that's Rory typing in the chat on behalf of me. Well, somebody did. So,
Oh, and it said NY State has already been very aggressive.
which is true. New York State's one of the few states that's actually investigating cryptocurrencies and seeing what's up. But that also doesn't surprise me because New York City is a financial capital of the United States
Yes.
and one of the financial capitals in the world. So it wouldn't surprise me if New York State became one of the first regulators in the United States of cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I think we're headed there. I mean, it's inevitable. I don't think you can put this thing back. It's no turning back the clock. It's very heavy in the Asian market too as well. I think about 30% of cryptocurrency holders are in that section of the world.
Right.
So,
and if you think about that, China, Korea, and a lot of these countries, China especially, there's an immense amount of population that is living below the poverty line, and they have 1 billion people in their country. So to have restrictions on income in that respect is very, very difficult and has been a problem for that country for a very, very long time. So it's also being able to empower consumers in China, and then last I had checked, China had banned cryptocurrencies. That may have changed since I looked, but
yeah, they were
that was what I
looking
had
to
seen.
do
They were
so.
looking to ban.
I think a lot of them would like to, but the thing is, you can't shut it down.
Right.
You know, you can try to take it from, you can try to ban it in terms of having major retailers maybe accept it.
Right.
But unless you shut down the internet, you can't shut down the currency.
And we're never going to
that's
shut
not
down
like-
the internet. It's
we're never gonna
become
shut
too
down
much
the
of a
internet.
commodity nowadays.
Exactly. So it's no turning back the clock. This is the way things are going to be. So they have to figure out, I guess, a way how to get a piece of the pie, so to speak.
Right.
And I think that's what they're doing right now. They're trying
So
to figure it out.
speaking of modern day gold rushes, one of the other things that I feel like people